Hello, Slow Joy. I think I'm sit down actually. I just got this cord and it's going onto the stove, so I don't want it to go onto the burner and start melting and electrifying. So after the budget video I made the other day, I went to the store and I got apricots. I think those are about $3, and then okay, I know I spent less than 15. I spent 11.56 or something like that. It's 11, and since there's change in the end, I just bring it up to the next dollar, even if it's below 50, which in math, I guess all math teachers I've ever heard have said once you get to 50, you then you round it up to the next dollar. But like, even if it's like 1 penny over, I'd rather just round it up to the next dollar because tax, and I don't really know. So, and just being generous and giving space for error is important to me. So let's just say I spent $12 out of 15, so that leaves $3 left. So I'd have $3 left from that $15. And my goal with going to the grocery store is to not spend over my budget, or at least have at least $1 left over. Cause what if I spend everything right now? If I think of something later that I need to get, I don't have anything to provide for it. So, and yeah. So I guess we use digits to prepare for that thing we're gonna get, which is wrong. But yeah. Anyway, I've got and a melon, because he likes melon, and then I've got melon. What else did I get? I have a terrible memory. The thoughts are here and then they just I'm going to start writing out what I'm going to do for the kitchen, because sometimes thinking about something else helps me remember what I'm going to do for another thing. Looks creepy. Why did I draw that? Okay. This is like not really realistic, because sometimes I have to eat after them, and then I'm the only one this would really apply to. Dishes. Get rid of bad food. So this is in the kitchen, so these are like what I want to do in the kitchen, because I'm here. That's fine with me. So dishes. So put the clean ones away, and then dirty ones in there, and then start that and have that going while I'm doing something else, so that I don't waste, like I'm not like waiting for this to be done so I can make something, because I have to have some clean dishes, have those clean, and then have some in store, and then I can wash other dishes while I'm using these dishes. And it does start a cycle, which can be overwhelming. So in order to like have a bit of rest, then I think it's best to just have it all done all at one time, every once in a while, so that way everything's done and we're not walking into the kitchen and being like, this is disgusting, putrid, and I want to vomit from looking at that, which I do right now. But sometimes there's a dish or two, and I could get that when the right time is to get that. Because let's say I'm angry about something, I tend to take out my anger on what I'm handling, and that for kids results in these things being stubbed off. Just do that, and it makes this go inside itself, and just know they're in the world to learn about the world, always. And if we don't learn about the world, we don't stop our anger and aggression. Okay. I should actually do that. So, dishes, get rid of bad food. Okay, that would be old cereal. Check the bread, see if it's moldy. And then the potatoes, if they're very green on the outside, that means they're gathering a lot of poison. And I have literally puked up from eating potatoes sometimes, and I think that's why. So I just throw them away if they're too old. And I know they're old by it's being green or have mildew on the outside. Have popsicles in there, but I think we want to save those now that they're like a month old. Okay. I know we have cheese. The cheese is open. When the cheese is open, it tends to like it kind of extra stuff inside the bag, so the cheese can get really bad. We have lunch meat, and the lunch meat's been there for a while, so I want to get rid of that if it smells bad and if the expiration date is past due. That's just like an FDA standard thing, but it's also his standard thing here, so I'm gonna just make sure I'm not giving him stuff he doesn't want, what else is in there? I kind of forget everything that's in there, so I need to okay. Are eggs, 2 eggs, 2 containers of eggs, and one of them is minus 3 eggs. So there's a dozen in each carton, so that's 12 minus the 3, so that would be 24 minus 3, which would be 19. Blech. Not 1921. Okay. I have seeds in there. I need to find out how to germinate them. We have plastic bags, so we get a paper towel, get it damp, and then put the seeds in there. So learned that from YouTube. And it actually works. I tried that with an avocado. I put an avocado in a bag and it germinated, but I left it too long, so it like wilted. So it needed to be in the air and have soil and stuff to nourish it. Okay. Orange juice. There's a melon back there we need to bring out forward, because if there's stuff stuck at the back, that's always going to rot. Always, because I forget about it and then it rots in the back in the corner. Okay. Jello. And then that is juice. I need to check the expiration date on that, but that's open, so that's variable. Okay, we have soda. You can count the soda. And I need to find the lost loose cans all over the place so I can redeem them. We have chicken broth, because once that's open, it goes in the fridge, because it is meat products. So it needs to be refrigerated afterwards, and the lid needs to be closed. Okay. But if that's left in the fridge too long, that can get very gross, and it can grow the stuff in the air inside the liquid, the water. And then we have leftover food. My rule of thumb is that if there's food in there from package from like a couple days ago, like 3 days at the most, I throw it away after 3 days, because it's not good anymore, because it just like dries up and then it's slimy. Ugh. Oh my gosh. Oh. I'm gonna be sick. This whole thing is very goofy, because okay, we just have 2 rules, but we could just book them, but I like to not have too many rules all at once, because it's depressing. Wow. And I like to heat up some water so I can make like a drink after I'm done. Or during it, I need something cold. Because while I'm exercising a lot, I get sweaty and hot, and if I'm overworked, then I get like puking, and you actually literally puke if you overwork yourself. So yeah. What happened was I was reading the Old Testament, and then I was reading like the book of Joshua, the books around that, and he was told by God to approach this heathen nation, I think it was the land of Canaan, because what happened was I'd go to the city of Jericho, and Joshua was a spy along with Caleb, and they were the only 2 spies, because there were more than that. They were the only 2 spies to come back and say, we can actually defeat these giants that were in the city of Jericho. And no nobody else wanted to do that. Nobody else believed that they could defeat the giants that were in the city. I kind of wonder why they thought that, because they're not stupid. They have legitimate reasons for saying yes and no to things, because they would go places and attack people to overtake the land. That's what people did back then. And it takes somebody who has certain life experience that would get them to the point that that's okay and that's the right thing to do. Because in the beginning, it says that God created the Garden of Eden after he created creation, of course, and he said, let there be light. And there's light. And the creation story is important to know, to think about this too. Yeah. But the children of Israel didn't think that they could defeat the giants in the city of Jericho. And so a couple things about this. God told them to, I think Moses had them scattered out, which that's not exactly the spirit of David in the first place, because God told David to just, was it David or was it Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? He told somebody to just, when he goes before the king to speak, to help the nation heal from wickedness and basically everything falling into chaos and misery, he told him to just speak, and he'll give him the words to speak. Don't premeditate on it. It's very hard to do myself, because there's so much going on in the world that's stop doing that, or you're not allowed to do that, because we don't like spontaneous variables. And I already know that's not, it's not how you get things done, but okay, so here's a verse. Through God all things were created, without God nothing was created. And it's a verse in the Bible. I forgot it because that was very awkward. Yeah, it's just, I'll just leave it at that because I forget what it's going to be. But yeah. Oh. There's a verse that says, walk by faith, not by sight, and it's hard to do. I'm talking right now. Constantly. But you try to guess what that is. What doing that is. I know at least my mom, when she gets mad, what she does is she goes into the kitchen and she cleans it, and she's very upset when she's cleaning it. She's like, "Wah!" And I started doing that because I thought it was funny. And I love my mom. And I wanted to find out why she was doing that. But it's not exactly the best for the dishes. So having my own brain and thinking, oh, I don't want to destroy the dishes. Like, my mom doesn't destroy things usually, but in my mind, I wanted to not have any boundaries and just to, like, if there's a knife, if I wanted to throw it across the room, then I would have no self-control to tell me to not throw it across the room. But since I care about my parents and the fact that they don't want their house destroyed, and I know that if I destroy the house, I could lose the house, then I'm not going to destroy the house. But yeah, the city of Jericho, it was, it was those people's home. And they spent a long time building that. And it took trials and error, and then getting around that error to build it in the first place. Because they knew from experience that the thicker the wall, the harder it is to get through the wall. And yeah, I think there's also some things with the water system. Jericho might have been one of the cities that had a special water system for back then, because it was not the usual way people did things. I could be thinking about the scenario with the temple and the golden goblets that people were defiling. But, yeah, it was at people's home. And, the city of Sodom and Gomorrah was also that people's home. And it's not like they didn't have a good reason for doing what they were doing. Because, yeah. Okay. So I have gotten down this rabbit hole of seeing people naked and realizing, oh, that is something good. And, it's in my mind, the pleasure hormone thing. It's like, oh, I see somebody who is, like, free of everything. Free of shame. They're free of other people looking at them and going, I see something wrong with you. Like, that's the weird part about us not wearing clothes, or like wearing clothes versus not wearing clothes, is that like I am completely free. Why aren't you okay with that? No. But it's not okay, because we know that if we let ourselves just go and do anything, and it doesn't always end up well. But David danced naked in the streets. That doesn't mean literally go outside in 2021 and dance in the street, because there's cops and not everyone has self-control. I mean, part of being in a relationship with someone, I think, is trusting to the point that you trust them to look at you and not just nitpick and see everything wrong with you. And you know, when especially me as a woman, I get there and you're still finding stuff wrong with me, that's not okay. Because sometimes I didn't necessarily agree to be here right now, but either God told me to go there, or my parents somehow told me this was the good thing to do. And you know, I'm not saying everything that parents do is okay, because another Bible verse is, if any man does not hate his father or mother or sister or brother for my sake, he will never enter the kingdom of heaven. And that's because parents are just, they're humans too, and they need self-control too. And okay, in Hitler's instance, from what I know about him, he was very authoritative, and people trusted him. They saw the good in him, and they wanted to follow that, the good, but they were blind to the terrible side of it. And that's not okay, to be blind to the terrible side of what he was doing. And something I see that people lacked was self-awareness of what they were doing and how they could influence things the same way. Like, they knew they could do it, but they thought they had to answer to him. And that's not okay, because he's not God, and he's going to make terrible decisions just as a human. So Hitler was very authoritative, and he was able to use his authority in a negative way that told everyone that it was a little bit this, like, I need to destroy everything under the sun because it's terrible, which comes from God. He wanted to destroy the earth with a flood, but God had to realize that, you know, sometimes my anger isn't what needs to be done. Like, there is righteousness here. Noah is listening to me. He sees me. He's trying to follow what the path I laid out for him, the good side of life, the path in life that's, you know, really important to follow. So after the flood, he made a promise to Noah to never destroy the earth with a flood again. And he set a rainbow in the sky, which I guess is a full circle, not just a half circle like we see, because half of it's usually hidden by the horizon. But he set a rainbow in the sky, and that's so interesting to think about. I would encourage you to think about that. But that reminded him to never destroy the earth with a flood again. Yeah, so And I know the rainbow is being used as a gay pride symbol, and it's something they have on flags and on t-shirts and on you dye your hair that way, and possibly nails, just like fashion related stuff with gay pride, because where it comes from, like, I don't really know these people personally. I do have someone, I've talked to somebody on Facebook who is going through this, and I'm not going to talk about her because that's not okay, but there's some people who they realize there's a rainbow, and they're saying, please don't destroy me, because I need to be heard, be seen. I need to have you not automatically look at me and think there's something wrong with me right away, which when we're cleaning our house, it's the quick to do job thing. It's looking at something and assuming I know everything about it right away, enough to judge whether or not that's good enough to get rid of. And I think those people in the kitchen, they had a problem with that. Probably because I kind of did. But sometimes the only way to get it done in time and not just be stuck here forever is honestly, listening to what my parents told me to do helps me get over that. Because I don't necessarily know what to do. But yeah. When I started reading the Bible, I read that part, and I would literally just like, I would try to stay up. I've stayed up the entire night, and then the entire next day because of reading the Bible, and just I went for 3 days without eating, and I forget if I drank water or not. I probably did. But I just remember being out on the stone patio in the back wall area and just like falling apart because I was so tired and so hungry. But for some reason it was like God was telling me to do that. But then it was just the fact that I didn't know certain things about life. I had to get over my fear of confrontation, and that usually comes from my parents, is being afraid of being confronted by aggression. So yeah. This is something I could talk about forever. But okay. So the walk by faith and not by sight thing is like, I hear something, like just like know the sounds something is, because a counter, it sounds like this, and it sounds like this in the middle, and it sounds like this in the corner, and the corners are usually denser, so it'd be a sound not as round, not as out, and that's more, it like gives more, it's out more, like like a water puddle. And then like the stove, it's metal. It sounds like this, and it's high pitched. But this is a belly, and you know, Vivaldi made violins, and he had to know that violins have a chamber, and the chamber is what makes sound. So, or like echoes the sound. So this is a chamber, and this is like the outside of the instrument. And yeah, itching stuff. But like, I like to find that out by doing the dishes, because there's lots of sounds there, but sometimes it's too much, and sometimes I have to tune it out. But it's got a lot of sounds. It's better to select one thing, just listen to that one sound, either that or do a mathematical equation to space it out and have it one at a time. And then like, this is the same sound here, 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 and then these are different sounds between them. So usually in a band, it's one guy is doing one instrument, and he has to do it after somebody else does it, or somebody starts it. And usually that's a singer for some reason. The person who wakes everybody up and gets everybody like actually doing the song, they just start, and like they have to know the right time, of course, but they really need to know the mathematical equation of it, which is the score, the music score. So like one guy will be making like it's this sound. So they probably just picked up objects and just banged objects. So, and I've heard that being used in songs, just the three. But anyway, it's like you have a starting note that everyone recognizes as the starting note. Then you do one, and then somebody could do that. Then you do. So if I'm doing it myself, I have to be everybody. And it's a little bit. Some people don't agree with that. But usually when I am doing a song, I have to be multiple different people to accomplish the song. Okay. Because each note has a character with that sound, and I'm trying to copy the sound so I can remember the sound, know the sound, use the sound. Because like if I don't remember it, then I'm not gonna be able to survive. Unless God wants me to. Okay. But yeah, you probably already know that. And take care.